Welcome to an introduction to fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Part 1, what is FASD? My name is Eric Marier. I am a transitional services facilitator at Surrey Place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I've worked here with families who have a child or youth with a diagnosis of autism, and I've also worked with families who have a child or youth who have a diagnosis of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, what we call FASD. On our agenda in this video, we'll cover what is fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, what is FASD. And as a result of this session, participants will be informed of some key features of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and aware of what areas someone with the diagnosis may require support with. So what is fetal alcohol spectrum disorder? What is FASD? FASD, which is a research network in Canada, describes FASD as a lifelong disability that affects the brain and body of people who were exposed to alcohol in the womb. Each person with FASD has both strengths and challenges and will need special supports to help them succeed with many parts of their daily lives. So FASD is caused by prenatal alcohol exposure. And prenatal alcohol exposure may cause challenges in the 4 following areas. And these are physical, medical, behavioral, and cognitive. So more and more, we're seeing FASD as a whole body diagnosis. FASD currently estimates the rate of FASD in the general Canadian population to be 4%. And it's important to note that FASD does affect families and individuals from all walks of life. In Canada, you can either be diagnosed with FASD or fetal alcohol spectrum disorder with sentinel facial features or fetal alcohol spectrum disorder without sentinel facial features. So what do we mean when we talk about sentinel facial features? We're talking about facial features that are associated with FASD. And there are 3. The first is short palpable fissures. So palpable fissures are the distance across your eye. That would be shorter. Smooth philtrum. The philtrum is a vertical groove between your nose and your upper lip. That would be smooth or flat. And a thin upper lip. It's important to note that sentinel facial features are rare. By and large, FASD is invisible. FASD reports that less than 10% of individuals with the diagnosis have recognizable facial features. So you can't tell if someone has FASD really by the way they look or by the way they talk. You'll likely only know if someone has a diagnosis if they tell you. And one other thing to note is that facial features do become less noticeable as an individual becomes older. FASD may affect someone in various ways, and some of the functioning that may be affected include information processing. So that's information moving from one part of the brain to another. Motor functioning, that's gross motor functioning, like walking, running, and fine motor functioning, right? Those skills that we use our fingers for, things like writing or using utensils or cutting with scissors. Learning, memory, and impulse control. So your child or your youth may require support with memory, communication, cognitive and auditory processing. We'll unpack those in later video modules. Abstract thinking and executive functioning. Not everyone with FASD will have the same performance areas affected. In the following video modules, we'll go through these areas and talk about how these might be affecting your child or youth's life, what your child or youth's strengths might be in these areas, and finally, how we can start supporting your loved one right now within these areas. In our next module, part 2, we'll cover supporting memory. Please stay engaged, register for live events at mysurreyplace.ca and view recorded events and resources at surreyplace.ca/resources. And get involved. join our Family Connections group on Facebook by clicking on this link. We welcome your feedback, so please, we ask you to take a moment to complete a brief survey to share your feedback with us. You can scan this QR code, or you can click on the link below. Thank you, and please join me for part 2, Supporting Memory.